Hey my fellow comrades, it's me, LittleBigPlanet678, and today I'm going to give you a special little tutorial. It's how to make FNAFB's face graphics. Now, there was a YouTuber named Ashton101. He made a video about how to make the battlers, and he did say that he was going to make a video about how to make the face graphics, but he never got around to it. Most likely because he kind of gave up on making FNAFB because he thinks it's getting stale now. So that's why I'm making the video now. Guess to like feel for him, I guess. Alright, so let's get started. Now, the way to make a face graphic kind of depends on which version of RPG Maker are you using. Like which type of engine are you using? Like, are you using RPG Maker MB or VX-Ace? Or any others? I mean, I don't know the other... I don't know what size the face graphic is for the other RPG makers, like 2003 or XP, I don't know those, but for VX-Ace and MV, well, for VX-Ace it's 96 pixels for in both height and width. And RPG Maker MV, it's actually 144 pixels in width and height. So we'll do one for VX-Ace first, or probably for the sake of this video I'll just do a face graphic for VX-Ace, so you just get the basic idea. so for width it's 96, height is 96, and I think it's best to leave the resolution on 96 as well, because it might because how the picture's gonna look probably depends on the resolution. So I think you should keep this on 96, and everything else should be okay. It's okay, and we got a little square here. Now, if you don't want this white square, you could go to the magic wand tool here, and then click on that, then press delete, and now you got a transparent square now. Now, depending on what characters are going to be in your game, you have to like make them in a certain way. Like, I'm going to go get a character in that's somewhere in my computer, and I'll come back to you when I find it, so I'll show you what I mean. Alright guys, here's the character I picked out for this video, Nightmare Freddy. Now, as you can see, he's a pretty big image here. So, you might be wondering, how am I going to put a character like this, this big, into a little square that's only 96 by 96 pixels? Well, the way to do this is actually two ways. Like, what you do here is get the rectangle select tool, and then you have to make a square here. It's also a good idea to like press and hold shift while you're dragging, so you can always have a square. Now, for now, let's do it like this, like right around here. And then you get this tool to move selection, so you can move all of this all around. So that way we could actually get the perfect kind of frame here. So make sure it's always the main focus is the face, obviously. So we have to make sure that. I guess it's a good idea to make the face into its center. Like, I believe right here could be okay. It should be good. And then you go up to here, where you have all these little icons here. Like for new, open, save. There's this icon here called Crop to Selection. Click that, and now everything's cropped except for this. So now, you might be wondering how we're going to turn it into 96 by 96 pixels then. Or transfer it to here. Well, that's simple. What you do is go to Image, Resize, or press Ctrl R, and then we get to here. Make sure the resampling is on best quality, because of course you want the best quality for the picture when you try to resize it. Either you have to make it small or big. Now we edit the width to 96, and because I have this checked, maintain aspect ratio, whenever I edit the width, it changes the height as well, which is still pretty easy to use. So basically you have to make sure the width and height are 96 by 96. Then press OK. And there you go. Now Nightmare Freddy is a frame now. Now what you have to do next is pretty optional actually. You could actually make a new layer and put something in the background. You know, like I guess you could put like, I don't know, like a sunset or something, or one of those static kind of overlays, like the static from the FNAF games when you die or you see on the cameras, that kind of thing. Or you could just leave it blank, make it completely transparent, or make it black. But I guess for now we'll do it black. Just get that over with. Cool. Now, Nightmare Freddy is here now. Now you might be wondering, what's the other solution you could do? Well, the way this works is that if you want to, I mean, I'm not sure if it's really necessary, but if you want to, you could actually get a thing called the Move Selected Pixels. Then you either click on the image here or actually do Control A, just so you don't have to click on it. So now this whole thing is selected. Make sure the layer is on the Nightmare Freddy layer. Press Control C to copy, and then go over to the document that's already on 96 by 96 pixels. Control D, and there you go. It's been pasted onto this document now. But because I already made it here, right, you don't really need to do that. But if you want to, then go ahead. Alright, so now that we got the face here, one of the greatest essentials for a Finds F-Boys face set is the text. Of course, it has to be the character's name. So how are we going to do that? Well, that's simple. We get the text tool here. Then make sure the font is called, it should be here, it's Courier New, I believe it's called. Yeah, right here. Yeah, and then you set the size to 16, and then make sure it's bold. Now, make a new layer, and then click on the empty layer to make the text prompt appear. Now it starts making your text, but it's also a good idea to make sure it's on white so you'll be able to see what you're typing. Since we can't really fit the full name, Nightmare Freddy, in it, we have to make it shorter. So we'll do N.Freddy. Oh yeah, and another thing you have to do for Finds F-Boys face set, when you're making the name of the character, make sure it's always like in capital letters. So yeah, it's like that. I don't know why, but it's just like that. But it looks like it's too big for it, so that's okay, we'll just resize it. I think we can just resize it like this, right? Yeah, okay. Cool. It looks like 14 seems to be working, so we'll leave it at that. Okay. Now, what we do next is actually the another essential thing for Finds F-Boys face sets is for the text is the text outline. Like, if you ever play any other Finds F-Boys game, they have this text outline. It's like it has some kind of glow behind it. So what you have to do for that, first of all, get the color picker tool here, and go to the Nightmare Freddy layer, and just pick any color, because the way the glow has to work for the text effect, for the text glow, is it's a good idea to have it as almost the same color as the character you're trying to make the face set of. I don't know why, but it just makes sense. So once you decide on your color, I'll go for around this one or here. I'll pick that one. Okay, now I'll go back to the layer, the text layer. Go to effects, and if you ever seen Rice Topaz's little tutorial on mgur.com, she actually has like a different way to make this text outline work. Like, I think she actually had to like duplicate the text layer, I believe, and then just make a blur or something, or do a glow effect. But the way I do it, it seems to be easier for me, because how I did it, I use a thing that Paint.net has called plugins. And don't worry, these plugins are absolutely free, and it's a good idea to get them from the official website. It should be here. Is this it? Online text? Yeah, here we go. So, it's a good idea to get this plugin from a guy named Pyro Child. I think you can find it in the official Paint.net website. If not, just look up on Google, text outline Paint.net. And you see one by Pyro Child, download it. If you need a tutorial how to install plugins in Paint.net, I believe there's either a tutorial somewhere on Google about that, or you could look it up in a video on YouTube. Alright, so once you have this little pop-up about the outline object, go to the softness and drag it all the way to 255, but just bring it down to at least 250. That should be good. And you can actually edit the color of the outline as you want. See? Like, see, I could just make it brighter and everything. It's a good idea to make it the glow noticeable, but not. Don't make it like too bright so the text can't be seen. Just make it around light enough to. Just make it light enough to see, but just don't make it too light. Right now, I think that's noticeable. And keep the width on 2. So yeah, just keep the width on 2 and the softness on 250. And that should be okay. Press OK, and there we go. Now we just have to move it to the correct position, which is always like on the bottom right. And what you could do here is actually, hold on. Let me just, you could actually make these layers invisible so you could actually see where you're placing the text. So don't make it, don't put it too far so it doesn't like go off the screen like this. Just make sure make sure the tiniest glow is touching the document edges, and bring it down there. That should be good enough. Now you make these visible again, and there you go. That's basically how you do it. That's how you make Finds F-Boys face set. And just save it on your computer, and actually it's a good thing to actually, there's this other program to use that's actually pretty good for making actual face sets, not just the face graphic itself, but to actually make like the face set that has like four face graphics in 2 rows. It's called Game Character Hub. That's actually, but I just use that to actually organize how I'm going to make the face sets, but to make the face graphic itself I use Paint.net. So save this around somewhere in your computer where you can remember it, and if you're able to actually make the actual face set itself without Game Character Hub, then go right ahead. Or if you want, you can just actually save the face graphic that you just made and then name it something that you'll remember, and save it inside whatever game you're making that's related to Finds F-Boys. And don't worry, even though it's just one single face graphic, you'll still be able to use it in your game, even though it's not part of a face set. So that's basically it, actually. The way MV works is basically the same, it's just that it's on a much bigger scale. Alright, that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little tutorial video. And I'm sorry I haven't been active on YouTube lately. I'm actually working on something very special for Kyle Plays. Something that you might actually find interest in. Something I've never done on Kyle Plays, but hopefully it goes well and I'll be able to do more of it. But it's gonna take some time though. So keep your eyes peeled for any new Kyle Plays videos, and yeah. Leave a like if you enjoyed this tutorial video, subscribe to become a fellow Comrade today, and see you guys in the next episode. Kyle Plays or game playthroughs or anything on my channel. See you guys later.